In an important development today, Lashkar-e-Toiba is set to reconstruct its headquarters, which has been destroyed under Operation Sindoor. And for reconstructing its headquarters, Lashkar-e-Toiba has resorted to very unique form of funding. In fact, we know very well that in the May of this year, post-Operation Sindoor, the Pakistani government has promised both Lashkar-e-Toiba and 𝐃𝐨𝐻𝐿 that it is going to allocate funds for the reconstruction of their headquarters, which have been destroyed in Operation Sindoor. And the Pakistani government has contributed nearly 4 crore Pakistani rupees to Lashkar-e-Toiba in order to reconstruct its headquarters. But the actual requirement was nearly somewhere around 12 crore Pakistani rupees. For this reason, Lashkar-e-Toiba has resorted to setting up front organizations under the name of flood relief. As we know very well that recently Pakistan has been battered with repeated floods, because of which reason, in the name of flood relief, what they have done is they have established a front organization by the name of 𝐃𝐨𝐿𝐧𝐥𝐨𝐚𝐝 is the front organization that they have established. And under this organization, they are collecting funds both online and offline. And most of the funds are being diverted to sponsor terrorism. And this has been a report of the Indian security agencies. And the same modus operandi was followed by Lashkar-e-Toiba earlier too, when in 2005, when an earthquake struck both Pakistan and Pak-occupied Kashmir, in the name of earthquake relief, they have established Jamaat-ud-Dawa as a front organization, and through that they have got fund for the sake of establishing their terror network. Now they are using floods as a cause. And FATF should be mindful of this, and Pakistani government outrightly supporting Lashkar-e-Toiba and 𝐃𝐨𝐻𝐿, and at the same time occupying very high positions in a counter-terror framework internationally. It shows a kind of the dual character of international organizations. So that is the reason why the Indian government should put forward all of this evidence in front of FATF in order to again blacklist Pakistan or put it in the grey list of FATF. In one more important development, the Supreme Court of India has hit highest number of case pendencies. In fact, this month, if we observe, the total number of pending cases in front of the Supreme Court of India is 88,417. This is the highest till date, and despite of the Supreme Court having the full bench of judges, so the full sanctioned judges bench, that is 34 judges are working in the Supreme Court, but despite of that, the pendency of the cases has become highest. In the past few years, we have observed that the Supreme Court Chief Justices like Chandrachud, Khanna, and right now B.R. Gavai have taken multiple steps in order to reduce case pendency, of which renaming the summer holidays of or summer vacation of the judges as partial working days is one of the important steps taken by the current Chief Justice of India, B.R. Gavai. But despite of these reforms, the case pendency has kept on increasing. And if we observe, so in fact, out of the total 88,000 odd cases that are pending, 69,000 cases are civil cases and 18,000 cases are criminal cases. And if we observe, in the last month, that is in August, 7,000 odd cases have been filed and the Supreme Court disposed nearly 5,600 cases. We have to observe 5,600 cases disposed by 34 judges. That is, in a month's time, just consider the work burden that is there for the Supreme Court justices, wherein 5,600 cases per month is the usual resolution rate, which is very, very high. This is leading to disproportionate burden on the judges. Maybe the central government should focus on increasing the number of sanctioned judges for the Supreme Court, or the ideas like regional benches, or ideas like making the Supreme Court only a constitutional court are some things which needs to be taken into consideration. Because of the excessive workload, definitely in the constitutional cases, the Supreme Court judges will not be able to perform in an optimal level. That is the reason why there is a need to change it. And at the same time, we should remember that justice delayed is justice denied, and at the same time, justice hurried is justice buried. The latest report of Sample Registration Systems Statistical Report for 2023 has identified that in West Bengal, the number of child marriages is at the highest. Particularly, it has said that among the women or girl children before 18 marriages are highest in West Bengal, immediately followed by Jharkhand. Whereas the lowest number of child marriages are happening in the state of Kerala. If you look at the statistics for West Bengal, in West Bengal, the total number of women who are getting married before 18 years of age is currently 6.3%, which is highest for the country, whereas the lowest is for Kerala, where only 0.1% of marriages are child marriages. And apart from this, one more important thing that we need to remember here is child marriages, even though they are illegal, even though they are not permissible under any law, but because of the socio-cultural norms and patriarchal systems in society, child marriages are still persisting in India. Even though the fight against child marriages has started during the British rule in India itself, but till date, because of numerous socio-cultural norms, because of patriarchy, because of the burden of girl-child's marriage, many families are resorting to child marriages. And in fact, the global reports and health reports clearly point out that marrying a woman at a young age will push her into cycle of poverty. Then her health needs, definitely the physically, emotionally and psychologically, the woman would be not ready for a family life, but they are forced into a family life and they will fall into a cycle of poverty. And teenage pregnancies and pregnancies before the age of 18, they are also going to have a long-term impact on the child's health too. Because of all these factors, there is a need for reconsideration and there is a need for many more steps in order to reduce the number of child marriages. Like the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Andolan is one thing that has been done by the central government. And even in case of West Bengal also, the West Bengal government has started a program which is called as 𝐾𝐞𝐚𝐫𝐧𝐢𝐧𝐠 Prakalp. But despite of all of these things, the child marriages still is an endemic and persistent problem in eastern part of India, particularly West Bengal and Jharkhand. And the instances of child marriage have substantially reduced when the women are better educated. So maybe education might be the serious antidote for the problem of child marriages for women. A survey conducted by the State Forest Department of West Bengal in the Sundarban region has identified that the saltwater crocodile population of the Sundarbans has increased substantially, and the adult population currently is ranging between 222 to 42 individuals. This is a significant growth, and it is the highest recorded population after the census started being conducted for the saltwater crocodiles. In fact, the saltwater crocodiles are mainly present in the eastern part of India, particularly in Odisha, in the Bhitarkanika National Park, and along with that, in the Sundarban region, the saltwater crocodile population is higher. In fact, the saltwater crocodiles are the largest reptiles of the world, and apart from being the largest reptiles of the world, they are the apex predators in the Sundarban region. They survive on fish, and along with fish, they eat a lot many sea species, and along with the sea species, they also depend on survival by eating some deer and other animals on land too. And the saltwater crocodile, in fact, it is a very, very important predator which protects the health of the mangrove forests, and they have a high tolerability towards salinity. They live from low salinity regions to high salinity regions. And apart from this, the saltwater crocodile, its conservation is primarily because of the Wildlife Protection Act, which has put it under Schedule 1, and even in sites which is used in order to ban transport of wild animals. So in fact, under it also, saltwater crocodile is a Schedule 1 animal. Even though the saltwater crocodile is a least concern species, definitely the conservation efforts, and along with the conservation efforts, the breeding centers which have been established in different places across Sundarbans have helped in the revival of the saltwater crocodile population. And the saltwater crocodile population increasing is an indicator for the health of the mangrove. And definitely, apart from the megafauna species like elephant and tiger and lion, even the minor species are also getting protected because of the numerous steps taken under wildlife conservation. Thank you.